So what is authority positioning? Now, Dan S. Kennedy is basically the godfather in direct marketing. And if you're becoming an authority in your field, marketing is something you're going to have to get very, very used to and very, very comfortable with. Now, Dan Kennedy states that if we're not deliberately going out there to find our clientele, we're not deliberately putting ourselves in front of them, if we're not deliberately making ourselves heard, then we are missing the boat. We are missing a lot of opportunity for money and income, and we're certainly missing our primary asset, which is ourselves and our knowledge. And people are only going to come to us and try and buy that from us if they know that we actually exist. So authority positioning is essentially making yourself a celebrity in your particular marketplace. Now, when I say celebrity, I don't necessarily mean the flashing lights in the fronts of magazines, but that's when you've really made it. You know, we need to be aiming to make sure that, first of all, everybody within our immediate family and friends know exactly what we do. Now, how many of your friends and family know what it is that you do or what it is that you're intending to do? Because it's probably a lot less than you think. And once your friends and family know exactly what you do, then make yourself famous for doing that within your town, then in your city, then in your state, then, you know, you get the picture. Go out nationally and then globally. Because if people know exactly what you do, that's when your name pops in their head every time that thing is mentioned by somebody else. And of course, what that means is that you're going to be getting referrals and people talking about, hey, I know a guy who does that. So make yourself famous. Now, this means blowing your own trumpet, it means singing your praises, and it means becoming a lot more public with your successes, with your achievements, with your story, with your journey. Now, this can be quite tough for some people. It's hard to blow our own trumpet. There is this tall poppy syndrome where other people think that it's arrogant or self-obsessed or stuck up to sing one's own praises, to talk about one's own achievements publicly. And you know what? A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people, it makes them feel insignificant. It makes them feel of less worth if they feel like they are not as successful as you. So be prepared to have a little bit of people and your friends saying, oh, you know, you've become so stuck up, you've become so up yourself. Look, there is a way to sing your praises without looking like Mr. Arrogant. But unfortunately, one of the lesser sides of this journey is you've just got to get used to doing that. And you've got to get used to the people who don't like tall poppies. But do not let it put you off, because everything comes in balance. So for the people that are knocking you down for singing your own praises and going out there and talking about what you're good at and what you're great at and what you can help other people with, you will also have a whole tribe of people that absolutely adore you, that almost idolize you. There are people that are going to be impacted by your message. There are people whose lives you are going to change as a result of getting out there. And that means you will have the raving fans. You will have the people that encourage you and spur you on. You will have the people who will thank you for the rest of their lives that you went out there and did this. So think of those people. Think of the people whose lives you will make a big difference to by getting out there, sharing your message, sharing your knowledge and your expertise, and of course, on the way, giving yourself a wonderful life at the same time. Go for it. So, you're going to become an authority within your field. What's going to change? Now, really, get prepared for absolutely everything to change. And I really mean everything. If you are about to embark on this journey, you have to be prepared to sail some rough seas, to fly high and to sometimes fly low. But everything in your life will change when you're successful in this. Now, one of the biggest things that changed for me was my friendships, was the relationships with other people that I had. One of the things you'll discover as you go on this journey of entrepreneurial authority is that there are two different types of people in the world. Now, one is the other entrepreneurs, the people like you who realize they have something good to give to or to do for the world, and they are out there striving and doing their best to make it happen. Then there are the rest of the world, who are not entrepreneurial minded, who do not have the futuristic characteristic that entrepreneurs have. What I mean by that is entrepreneurs can see things that don't yet exist and believe in them so faithfully that they actually risk everything to go out and do it. But that the majority of the world, what I call the 99% of the world, don't have that. And they see change and they see new ideas and things that do not yet exist as very hard to fathom. And therefore, when you go to your 99% of friends, the rest of the world type friends, and share your ideas and share your aspirations, you will actually be faced with three things. And Arthur Schopenhauer actually says that all truths go through three phases. So this is what I mean here. First of all, it will be ridiculed. So these 99% of friends, because they can't see, because they do not have the unique characteristic that entrepreneurs have, they cannot see something that doesn't exist, they will laugh at you. They will say, well, you can't do that. You? Really? Pff, what a stupid idea. They will just ridicule it. Secondly, they will oppose it. So they will say, you know, why would you do that? Something like that already exists. You couldn't possibly do that. Do you know how much competition there is? You can't, you won't, it's not possible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that will be, it's a natural truth. It's just what happens with people who can't see, who don't have that capability. It doesn't mean they're stupid, although some of them are. But it just means that they're not visionary like you are. Do not be put off by that. Because the third truth is that eventually the truth is accepted as self-evident. As in, once you've made it happen and they can see it, then they will go, see, I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along. And this happens a lot. In fact, they won't even remember a time when they doubted you, because that's just the nature of the way truth goes. So anyway, back to relationships changing because of this 99% of the world versus the 1% of us entrepreneurs, is that when you start making something of yourself, when you start behaving differently and you start receiving the benefits and the glory and the triumphs of your hard work and your harvesting endeavors, is that your friends will feel less than you. And there's lots of things you can do to try and overcome that, but you will lose friendships along the way. I've had friends that just couldn't deal with it. They felt insignificant around me. They felt like they couldn't compete anymore. And in a similar way, I found myself in situations where, because I had a little bit more time or I had a little bit more money, I wanted to do different kinds of activities, which didn't suit my friendship groups. So for whatever, many, many reasons, just be prepared for some of your 99% of friends to fall out of your life. Now also, to get to the top, you actually have to purposely seek to be around more of the 1%ers. Now, the 1%ers are hard to find because clearly there are less of them. So make sure you're joining entrepreneur groups. Make sure you're joining business groups. Make sure you're looking online for these forums and these groups that you can be part of. Go to networking where your competition, i.e. other people like you, are hanging out, and make friends with them, because these people get it. They know how it feels. They know what you're going through. And that makes a humongous difference when it comes to helping you achieve your journey. The more you start hanging around international best-selling authors, multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, famous celebrities, the more normal that becomes. Whatever we spend our time around and whoever we spend our time around starts to become our normal reality. If in your mind it becomes completely normal to publish books and be on TV and stand in front of crowds of thousands of people, actually it starts to come into your life a lot easier. So that's again what I mean by your friendships and relationships changing, because some of the 99% will go and the 1%ers you have to seek out and start bringing into your life so that you have that rub-off effect of success and awesomeness in your life. Another one of the things that you will notice starts changing as you become an authority is smaller, more trivial and petty things in the world that 99%ers cry over and complain about and make drama about, all of a sudden become very much less important to you. You actually literally rise to the top. You start to see the world from this very top top-down vision position where you feel like all these small problems and all the noises going down underneath actually seem very, very insignificant. So the way you respond to everyday dramas in your life or your friends' lives also may be received by you very differently, and your friends and your family might not like your sudden lack of, okay, well, that's not important, don't worry about it type attitude. Another thing that's going to change for you is how you behave, how you speak, and how you react to everything. You are putting yourself in the public light. Everything you post on Facebook, everything you post on LinkedIn, Twitter, social media, you're going to have to change the photographs that might be up on your social media already. You may have to change some of those to view as private only. Be prepared for your private pages to just be taken over. Don't think I'm going to change all the security settings, la la la. Guys, if you want to go to the top, you're going to have to let everyone who wants to follow you into your life, and that means having to let go of some of your privacy. Set up a page in a completely separate name if you do want to have that privacy. But if I were you, I would see all of these platforms and these public platforms as an opportunity to simply grow your network. So just let them out there, but obviously remove anything that you wouldn't want seen on the front page of a newspaper. Now that might seem over the top right now at this early stage, but believe me, it will happen quicker than you think. And really in the future, do you want that photo on the front of a newspaper? Probably not. Every type of word and language you use when you're posting comments, when you're reacting to situations, when you're replying to an email that might have irritated you, every single one of these things are going down in history forever. You will not be able to delete them. And people pay attention a lot more than you think. So be very, very careful about how you're behaving. Even when you're walking through the public city and you get into a lift, every person you see, you need to react and behave towards them as if they are the next raving fan that you may have, because you will not believe how small this world can be and how quickly our reputation can change like this, for the good or the bad, because of how public social media and everything now actually works. So be very careful and think very hard before you respond or react to any altercation, any email, any comment, and of course everything that you put out there into the big wide world. And one of the other things that are going to change as you succeed in your journey of authority positioning is, of course, your income. Now, this is what makes some people make that leap from a job or an employed position into working for themselves. It's being able to have a lifestyle that a job or an employed position will not allow you to have. And it's also about being able to build for yourself a completely uncapped earning. And it's true. If you find the way, we're going to go through in this course how you can start making yourself a passive income and an uncapped income stream. You really can take this to any level you want to take it to. And I'm telling you now, if you follow some of the techniques in here, like I have done, from arriving in a brand new country with nothing, not even any bus money, I'm telling you now, to 3 years later now having a business worth millions of dollars, you can do this too. And it will happen for you if you follow these procedures and you stick to it and you make it happen for yourself. One of the best bits.